Are we okay? We got to fucking, we've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! No! Are you listening? Oh, you're gonna like this. You're really gonna fucking like this.
Sean from Middle Grounded. I know I keep saying that, but I've kind of taken a break from that channel. I just get tired of all the gaslighting from pop culture media. They put out garbage and then they blame the fans. And it's just not something I want to deal with right now. It just makes me upset and makes me sad. Last night I couldn't even get through Cornville Three-Way and T-Cap Gaming's stream. They were engaged. The chat was engaged. For some reason, those calls just set me off. We are going to be talking about something parents usually do today. Something teachers do. Exasperated adults. Ultimatums. Lorne has that idealized version of what a relationship should be in his head. So when it's not going his way, he has no other option. He expects the other person to act exactly as he does, to understand exactly what he is thinking, because this is a trademark of bipolar. Lorne is also, the Dunning-Kruger effect. He knows more about relationships than anyone. That's why he thought when he got married that Winnie was going to start behaving and doing what she was told. Do you remember when he told Dan, you need to put her in her place, Dan? But that's not what we're talking about. Lorne's ultimatums, because his entire life takes place on the phone, he has no option. He can't work his problems out. I mean, the catfish women are so ridiculous that even trying to work those problems out, it just wouldn't work. They are too much. They would require counseling, rehab with his involvement. And he talks about being there on the phone for support. Think of all the stupid crap when he's talking to Winnie, who's in a coma. I took a bite of an apple. If you were here, I'd give you the other half. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Lorne talks to nobody for 3 hours. Another example of quality time. Leaving voicemail messages in the hopes that they hear them. Another example of quality time. Another problem that leads up to these ultimatums is the fact that Lorne spends most of the beginning of the calls screaming and yelling, and those don't really count to him, because that's his idea of how to work things out. He once told Ramona that the 2 hours or the 45 minutes that she talked to him earlier that day didn't count. And that's not good. Everything he said to Ramona was, you're on the verge. If you don't do this, I'm going out karaoke. And if you go on a date, I'm going on a date. His ultimatums have no weight behind them. And I'm not talking about because he's pathetic and desperate. I'm talking about there's nothing there to lose. Ultimatums can be given by, I guess, when you're younger, hot significant others, hot ones that go out and they have the same interest, and you think you have a good relationship because the sex is good, and you don't want to lose them. Later on in life, it becomes the ones you're compatible with, the ones you think you can have a future with. You go through periods where you just can't work things out because you're still finding yourself, and Lorne has never found himself. He's still in that mode of, we're in a relationship, you should be acting exactly as I am, and if you don't, I'm gonna leave you. There have been women. Okay, so fact, something that when I'm talking to people, this is important. People will leave. The person that gives them 80% of what they need for the 20% they're not given. This destroys lives. This wrecks marriages and messes up children because of these divorces. I know staying together for the kids is not a good idea. I think Lorne would be that we need to stay together for the kids, because that's an ultimatum sometimes from your significant other. Also, if you leave me, you'll never see your kids. And the reason I'm mentioning that ultimatum, Think about this. Lorne gets children. God forbid it's a girl. But when I had my daughter, that was, daddy's girl. She fought anybody for a spot on my lap to watch TV, a spot sitting next to me to watch TV, or the piggyback ride. Daddy's girl. She's still daddy's girl. I just don't get to see her as much as I want to. But when I'm around her, she just makes my life light up. But Lorne with his kids, if he had that kind of connection somehow, if he realized, wow, I had a terrible childhood, I'm going to be the father that my dad never was. That would be all fine and dandy, but if you can't keep your wife and the mother of your children, she's going to leave you. So if Lorne received the, you will never see these kids again because he's abusive, I think he might go off the deep end. When other people give him an ultimatum, he can't take it because it's a feeling of weakness. It's a feeling that he may lose them, or he doesn't want to have to climb a ladder he didn't earn. He doesn't want to have to earn anything. When you're given an ultimatum, that's the point of no return. You have to start over, and you have to act right, and you have to earn their trust back and earn a spot in their life that you held for so long, or at least long enough to where it's become something that's normalized in your life. He can't take it. But the sweet, wonderful, beautiful ending to this all is that the judge gave him an ultimatum. If I see you back in my courtroom, that's it. See how beautiful that is? Lorne knows if he goes back, he's going to jail for a long time. At least that's what the judge said. Hopefully it wasn't an idle threat like he makes. But see how Lorne responded? He supposedly stopped drinking, but he kept talking to these catfish women. And if I understand correctly, he got computer access back and was instantly catfished by these scam emails and whatever Facebook posts. I don't know. He's not supposed to be on social media, but I ask you, how quickly do you think he was on social media? Immediately. I think Lorne as a child, his entire life was ultimatums. Imagine his teachers and his mom just at their wits' end. He takes it out on Roy because Winnie's at her wits' end, and he uses Winnie. He uses other people like, well, Emma told me, even though Emma never did. And Emma thinks the same thing, even though he never talked to Emma about it. So when that doesn't work, when he can't use the old other people said, and they agree with me, if you've ever watched Dark Side Phil, he's probably the worst human being on YouTube or close to it. He gives, he uses, everyone else said, and I told him. You usually use everyone else when you want to act like you're the smartest, that your opinion is better than everyone else, or you use everyone else when you want to justify what it is you're doing. Lorne can't say everyone else because the catfish people know there is no one else except for them. So he uses them. But when that doesn't work, boom, back to the ultimatums. Imagine being a real woman and you have this lunatic psych. Imagine being Paula, who probably went to his house one time to visit, not even as a date, just a human being. Because Lorne is a virgin and he's never had a real relationship, I would imagine the ultimatum for her came out of nowhere and she was confused. I was so confused. I think this is what happened with the Paula relationship. Lorne wanted to date her. And Lorne, he looks for signs, any little sign that will encourage him, anything that he thinks is a connection. So when he finds those, he convinces himself, oh wow, we got a connection. We're headed there, we're going to get there. But they don't. Look at Debbie. This really sucks, Debbie. After 3 days of not hearing, she even tried to make it clear, but he still looked for little connections, like the way I say jaw, and I heard it in your voice. But we're talking about Paula. I would imagine the first time Paula was going to go out with another guy and Lorne found out about it, she got the ultimatum, from a guy she barely knew. A guy or a woman that might have worked with him or possibly knew a family member. I mean, for all I know, she came over to his house to visit a family member. Could have been his sister's friend or a friend of his mom's, a co-worker of someone's that came over to the house. And Lorne, come on, man, think about it. Lorne probably thought, well, the reason she's coming over is to see me because she said hi to me once at work and she talked to me. Or I was out at a bar and she was there and we had a couple drinks and we talked. I don't mean like a date. I mean like you're at a bar and she probably had Lorne buying her drinks and had to keep the conversation going so she wouldn't have to pay. I'm just freestyling here. I mean, his co-workers at that call center were probably terrorized. And I know he was told, he told me I couldn't talk to anybody, so I told him, fuck you. An ultimatum to his boss. He probably said, well, if I can't talk to anybody, I'm out of here. Probably expecting the boss to go, oh no, please, Lorne, whatever you do, don't leave. We really need you. I think in Lorne's head, he's the most desirable person on the planet, and he has to keep telling himself that. For some reason, the biggest losers think they are the biggest winners. You're not losing anything if you lose Lorne as an employee. You are not losing anything if you lose Lorne as a spouse or a partner, because he has nothing to offer. But he believes he does. His undying devotion, and some people believe that. He thought that I sing to you, I give you the attention that you deserve. That's what Lorne thinks a relationship is. And he thinks that's all he needs to give. So when they require more, when they require real change, he snaps. And it becomes their fault. And then he gives an ultimatum. If you don't do this, I'm leaving. I love when he threatens to go out and get another woman. Or he says, well, you don't see me with other women around me. Or you've seen the doctor naked, but I've never seen that girl that doesn't even know I exist from Walmart. I haven't seen her naked, and I have a theory about that. I think she's young. And I think Lorne misinterpreted a smile or a, hi, how you doing? Oh, hey, Lorne, I know your name because you've introduced yourself to me so many times. He also uses ultimatums when he's trying to be cute. Well, if you do that, I'm just not going to do this. And he probably told that woman or girl from Walmart, and I'm not joking, he probably told her, well, if you keep talking to those other guys, you're going to lose me. Because I think he would. I think even playfully he gives ultimatums. I truly believe that. That's just the type of person he is. It's either me. Think about it. It's either your dad or me. If you want me, you can have me. It's either me or your sister. If you want your sister to have control, you're going to lose me. It's either me or the Wildo. You choose. Will or me. Doctor or me. Therapist or me. I think after seeing his body of work, we can all agree that he can't get anybody. There will never be anybody else, because if you have to keep threatening, you either choose that other guy or me. There is a problem, Lorne. You're picking the wrong women. Giving out ultimatums hasn't worked out for you. It never will. It's not going to work, because losing you, it doesn't mean anything. What are they going to lose? Your undying obsession? Because it's not devotion, relationship OCD, obsessive love disorder. The only thing they would be losing is his constant attention on them and his clinginess and his neediness. So stop it, Lorne, because it's not going to work, bro. It's just not. I know this was rambly and it was all over the place, but I did want to get a video out on Monday with some thoughts. I could do an entire video on Paula, and I am working on a Joran video. It's difficult to make videos when I have my son, because most of my time is spent with him, which is the way it should be. When I don't have him, I can make plenty of videos. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe and share, and I will see you in the next one.
Wow!